Today I'm going to be talking about Randy Krafts. Randy Krafts was the baby out of his family. He had sisters who loved him and they would just always say good things about him. And his mom loved him. They said with his dad was more closer to the sisters, but it he wasn't abusive or anything, and they said that it really didn't affect Randy because he did have his mom and his sisters. But when he was little, he would hurt himself a lot. Like, there was one time he fell off the couch and he broke his collarbone. So he was really clumsy as a child. He would get picked on in school, and he was gay for a while. He would try to hide the fact that he was gay because he didn't want anyone to know, but teachers and stuff would say that they suspected it. As he got older, he would go into the Air Force, and when he got out, he worked at he would work at this bar. So he had a boyfriend that he had dated for about 4 years, and his name was James. So he he would say that when he got with his first boyfriend, that is when he started really wanting to kill, because his boyfriend apparently was into bondage and stuff, and he would say that it got him into experimenting with stuff like that. So his first victim's name was Joseph, and Joseph was really young, teenager, and he gave Joseph drugs because that's what he did with a lot of the victims. He would, because he had things that were prescribed to him by the doctor, so he would use that on the victims. So that's what he done with Joseph. And Joseph was found by somebody, and the person took him to the hospital where he could get his stomach pumped. But he didn't tell anybody that he was also SA'd. So he kept that a secret for a while. So he doesn't say anything, which is not his fault, because as a kid, I couldn't imagine him going through that, and he's probably just trying to live a normal life, so he didn't want to say anything. So Randy would go on to do it again. He would take the young man, and like the other one, he would drug him, and then he would beat the victim, and he would also, he liked to stick objects up their bottoms and stuff. he would get crazy. He was really like extreme when it come to killing them. He was just out there. And one young man was in prison for a little bit, and he was trying to get his life back on track. And that's when he come into contact with Randy, and Randy took him, and like he would do with a lot of the victims, he would take his body parts and he would put them in different parts. So it was just, it was really sad, because this man was young and he was trying to get his life back on track. So it is also said, a lot of people think that somebody was helping Randy, for the fact of he would be in a car and he would push the victims out. So they thought in order for him to be able to do that, that maybe there was someone helping him. And still today, people think that maybe he had help. But the worst one was, he took this one young man and he burnt his eyes. He burnt all over his body. They said he went the craziest on this young man. And then he was close to being caught, because they seen one young victim being thrown out of the car, and they seen that the car belonged to Randy. So Randy goes on trial, and they try to say that they do the, he's got stuff wrong with him, and it ends up not working, because he tortured these young men. These men were like teenagers to like in their 20s, and he would torture them. But when he was killing, there was also other serial killers around the area. So still today, there's still probably a lot of victims that haven't been identified that they don't know was Randy. But Randy was sentenced to death, and he is still on death row today. And he's in his 70s now, so he was arrested in 89, so he's been there a long time. But rest in peace to all the young men that passed away. Thank you guys for watching.